Hey, all you scaredy cats and water otters. I'm Dale Rodman Jr., the third, and this is Slow to Pro, a video series where I go from slow to suffer in another race in the wet, this time with low fuel motorsport at the T Factory, Silverstone. It's time for the green flag, and we've got 21 cars on the grid today. We're starting with one guy behind us, plus this Aston Martin who decides he didn't come to race today. Through turn one, we get one gentleman spun around. We're able to squeeze up the inside of him. Got a guy over there just inspecting the wall, checking to make sure it is safe and sound. He's gonna feel real dumb when somebody tells him that there are stewards for that. And I hate to ask, but if you could throw a like on this video, if you're enjoying what you see so far, I'd really appreciate it. Helps the algorithm pick this channel up and show it to other people like yourselves that might be interested in such content. Subscribe too. At this point in the race, I'm just taking it real easy, taking it real ginger through, what's that place called? Morrison Beckett's or something like that. Anyway, everybody decides to tear it open down the straight, of course. And coming up into this big turn here, I was expecting that there'd be some mayhem because, you know, big straight, everybody feeling out the braking zone, but I was real disappointed to see that everybody was able to figure it out on the first go-round. I was happy that I was able to. I was unhappy other people were able to, though. I wanted some mayhem. I like the action. Decided to take a peek up the side of this Honda here, see if they wanted to play ball. And then I chickened out, if I'm being honest. And because I chickened out, it slowed me down a little bit. Got this caveman in the Mercedes breathing down my neck. Almost ended up on that green slippery shit out there. But we were able to keep it on the tarmac for the moment. And coming up through this next turn, we're going to get a real good run compared to everybody else. And be able to get right back up into the mix of this traffic here. And I think I'm gonna be able to, you know, figure out a move through these next couple of hairpins. But then the Mercedes makes something from nowhere, and I think, all right, my guy, whatever. Like, you can have the position for now, but you need to understand that you were just borrowing it. You were keeping it warm for Dale Rodman Jr. the third. But we're in P17 right now, and that is where we finished lap one. If we go ahead and skip now to the start of lap two, we got a Porsche goes off circuit, and I'm keeping my eye on him, just making sure that he's not going to impede my path or anything. He does a good job rejoining, but I smell blood in the water, baby. I'm cooking. I'm coming up on this guy pretty quickly, and the Porsche is slow in a straight line. And this gentleman is not going to defend the position. They're going to say, hey, it's early in the race, if you got to take it. I respect that. And it's our first real move of the race. We're able to get up the in front, and are we able to get it done? Oh, we get close, and I shut the goddamn door when I'm on the exit. So that's going to put us up into P16, and if we go ahead and skip ahead now to the beginning of lap 3, headed into turn 1, this whole crowd of cars in front of us screws it up. We're able to get right up into the mix again. And I start thinking it's revenge time on the Mercedes, but then we end up 3 wide with the Honda, and I decide I'm reckless but not stupid. I'm gonna back out. And then after these couple turns in the straight, the Honda disconnected, but if we skip ahead now to when the pressure got to be too much for the diving dickhead in the Mercedes, that's gonna slap us up into P14 after the Honda's inconvenient disconnection. Let's go ahead and skip now to the next bit of action. The blue BMW goes for a move that was never gonna work in the wet. McLaren is smart enough to stay aware and work around that person. And now we're gonna get right up on the bumper and say, hey, bucko, you just gained a position. I just gained a position, but I'm hungry. I want another. So I decide to trailer park play it right up around the outside, and that's gonna slip us right up into P12 for the start of lap number 4, headed for T1. I'm gonna bone this friggin' thing, but I'm realizing I'm boning it, and I'm gonna say, okay, let's just embrace the bone. And we're able to keep it under control, rejoin safely, and then hold our position. Still in P12. Let's skip ahead again. Here we are, starting lap number 5, headed through turn number 1. We're gonna get right up onto the bumper of this green McLaren. Got another McLaren here. I'm just McLaren hungry at this point. We're gonna have a little bit of a code brown here as we get right up on the bumper of that McLaren. I thought I was gonna booty blast him, but I didn't. But I did seem to have gotten into his mind a little bit as he ran a little bit awkwardly through that turn. But now we're right up into the slipstream as we head into the straight. And this gentleman is going to try to hold the inside line here. But I have no trouble going up along the outside. So I swoop left, and he starts a left-hand move right as I do, which is going to squeeze us left. But it's no trouble. We're able to make the pass, make it stick, and that's going to put us into P11 here as we close the door. Let's go ahead and skip now to the next bit of action. It is lap number 6, still in P11, nobody's crashed. We're gonna get right up on the bumper of this orange Ferrari. I'm gonna let him know, hey buddy, I'm here. You better pay attention to me. You better look in that mirror and not look where you're going. It's enough to get into his mind, make him slide off into the green slippery stuff. We're able to avoid him. That is car number 1. I'm happy about that pass. That's a lot of elo to be gained if we can hold on to it. P10, skip ahead now. It is lap number 8, headed into turn 1, and I'm gonna screw it up again. We're gonna get onto the green slippery stuff, and we're gonna have a moment, and I'm gonna be very thankful to see this patch of tarmac in that green hell. We're able to rejoin relatively safely, but we do lose a position to that orange Ferrari again. We're back down into P11, but not for long. We're right on the bumper of this Ferrari, and they must be feeling the pressure of not only knowing that the person behind them is better looking, but they also have a better pace. So coming through here to the straight, they're gonna take a little too much curb, have a little bit of a slip. We're gonna open up that window on the left-hand side. They're gonna try to squeeze us, but we got too much pace for them. And the moment that I get clear, I'm gonna swoop to the right, take a defensive line to make sure that we're able to lock up P10. Let this Ferrari know, you stay back there where you belong. You don't ever look at my bumper. Don't even look at me. Skipping ahead to the next bit of action. We're pretty late in the race now, just under a minute and a half to go. It is lap number 11. We gained P9 when the Ferrari in front of us went to the pits. Probably because they loaded qualifying fuel, if I had to guess. We're right on the bumper of this BMW now, and right in front of him is a Porsche and the rare GTR battling it out. So I'd really like to get through this BMW if I can. They have a bit of a moment there, get onto the green stuff, which is going to slow them down, hit it down this straight, going to open up the inside line for us. We're able to get alongside. I nailed the braking point, we're able to make it stick, and then I'm able to get clear of them and swerve over to the right here to make sure that they cannot answer back on the inside line. That's P8, but if we skip ahead now, let's see if we can't get P7 on the final lap here. Got an alert that there's a slow car ahead. We got a heavily damaged blue flagger. We're gonna swoop right around him, give him a little scare if we can. This is the first moment I thought maybe I'd take a shot on the Porsche here. I thought maybe I'd go up the outside, but decided better of it. Didn't want to have a wreck here with the BMW right behind me. I was happy with P8. I wanted to get P7 if possible. I didn't want to force anything. You know, it's late in the race. We've done well. Let's not screw it up now. Porsche takes a defensive line through this turn, does a great job, not too defensive. We're able to maintain some speed through it, and we're able to build a gap to that BMW behind me. So now I start thinking, okay, now it's time to start maybe thinking about taking a shot here, especially considering that the BMW just biffed it on that turn. And now we're coming into the straight where the Porsche is weakest, but unfortunately the Porsche is still in the slipstream of Godzilla there in front of us, and I had a horrible run out there, almost onto the grass, got a track cut there, and I'm going to try to take a peek up the inside. Porsche blocks, does a great job, and here we go, headed into the final 2 turns of the final lap of a very, very wet Silverstone. I'm trying to peek up the outside. I decide, okay, it's not going to happen. Let me see if I can't swing up the inside. Also, not going to happen. Okay. Marshall Bruce Mathers III. Let's trailer park boy this son of a bitch. Let's go around the outside, and we're not able to get it done. SP8, and that's it for the action today. Zealous Racing League is off this week, but don't worry, I've got a little something coming your way later this week. Thank you so much for watching Slow to Pro. I'm Dale Rodman Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.